Welcome to SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. EC has no objection if the election in the held under the new system in agreement between the BNP and Awami League. 2-hour area-based load shedding across the country from Tuesday. Shopping malls and markets to be closed by 8 p.m. Prime Minister is set to distribute 26,229 more houses to homeless families across the country on Thursday. Chief Election Commissioner Kazi Habibul Awal has said that there is no objection if the elections are held under a new system in agreement between BNP and Awami League. He also said this in a dialogue with the Islamic Front at the election building in Agargaon of the capital. The Election Commission is holding a dialogue with political parties regarding the upcoming parliamentary elections. On the second day of the dialogue, the discussion with the Bangladesh Islamic Front started in a meeting. And the morning at the time, the CEC said that the EC cannot have any objection if the elections are held under a new system agreed upon by the BNP Awami League. The Election Commission wants to create a favorable environment and a level basis for the acceptable elections. Kazi Habibul Awal also commented free and peaceful elections are essential by any means. The government has decided to resort to daily 2 hours area-based load shedding across the country from Tuesday in a bid to tackle the ongoing power crisis. Prime Minister's Energy Advisor Tawfiq Ilahi Chaudhry announced the decision after a high-level meeting at the Prime Minister's office on Monday. He also said the power distribution entities will conduct the load shedding under so that the people get time to take preparation for and they don't feel any disturbance. But in each spell, no load shedding will continue more than half an hour, he also said. The diesel-run power plants will remain closed until the further order to save the petroleum fuels, while the shopping malls and market will have to be closed by 8 p.m. The government office timing may be rescheduled while virtual meetings will be held instead of those with physical presence, he also added. As part of the government target to ensure housing for the landless and homeless people, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina will hand over 26,229 more houses to landless and homeless families under the third phase of the Ashram 2 project on Thursday, July 21st. Prime Minister's Principal Secretary Dr. Ahmed Kaikaus told the reporters at a press briefing that on Monday at the Prime Minister's office, the Premier will be connected virtually from her official Ganobhabal residence with 5 places in the 5 districts. He also mentioned the places are Charkolokopa Ashram project under the Ramgoti Upazila in Lokhipur district, Gombhara Ashram project under the Rampal Upazila in Bagerhat district, Char Velamari Ashram project under the Nandai Upazila in Mymensingh district, Mohanpara Ashram project under the Panchagor Shodar Upazila in Panchagor district, and Jangalia Ashram project under the Mohammadpur Upazila in Magura district. General Manoj Pandey, India's Chief of Army Staff, arrived in Dhaka on Monday morning on a 4-day visit at the invitation of the General S.M. Shafiuddin Ahmed, Chief of Army Staff of Bangladesh Army. This is the first time foreign visit by the General Manoj Pandey since his assumption, according to a press release of the Indian High Commission in Dhaka. The Indian Army Chief is accompanied by his spouse Archana Pandey and the 3-member delegation. He is scheduled to pay courtesy call on the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Security Affairs Advisor to the Prime Minister's Service, Chief of Bangladesh Army Navy, Air Force, PSO, Armed Forces Division, Bangladesh, and met other senior officers of the Bangladesh Armed Forces, he also said. He will also be visiting the various military stations. The Indian Army Chief paid tribute to the members of Bangladesh Armed Forces by laying wreath at the altar for the Shikha Onirban at Dhaka Cantonment. The Foreign Minister level conference of the D8, an organization of the 8 Muslim countries, is going to be held in Dhaka. Pakistan's Minister of the State for the Foreign Affairs, Hina Rabbani Kar, is coming to Dhaka to attend the meeting on July 27. This is going to be the visit for the Pakistani minister to Dhaka after almost 10 years. Pakistan's new foreign minister invited Bilawal Bhutto Zardari to visit Dhaka. A.K. Abdul Momin, however, the Pakistan government decided to send State Minister Hina Rabbani Kar to Dhaka instead of the Bilawal. He now will lead a 6-member delegation to the conference. And Bangladesh's current president of the D8, other members have also invited the foreign ministers of the Egypt, Indonesia, Iran, Malaysia, Nigeria and Turkey as well. Earlier in 2012, Pakistan's then Foreign Minister Hina Rabbani came to Dhaka to invite the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to the D8 summit held in Islamabad. The High Court today ordered for conducting a judicial inquiry into the incident for the humiliating a college teacher in the Norail on July 17. The Chief Judicial Magistrate of the Norail has been directed to conduct the probe and to submit the report to the High Court in 6 weeks. The court also issued a rule asking the district administration and police to explain why their failure to prevent the occurrence should not be declared illegal. The bench of Justice Vishwanadev Chakraborty and Justice S. Muniruzzaman delivered the order and the rule following a writ petition filed by the human rights organization in Aino Shalish Kendra seeking the necessary steps further for the issue. The High Court also directed the authorities concerned of the government to provide security and medical facilities to Shapun Kumar and his family members. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back and you are watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Celebrations in the PTI camp were in full swing on Sunday night as parliamentary unofficial result by the election on 20 constituencies by the Punjab showed by the party has decimated its rival, the PMLN, in the contest to snatch back control to the province. In the recount of the voters for the Punjab Chief Minister election in July 22nd, in accordance with the Lahore High Court order, the PTI is now poised to win, in effect removing PMLN's Hamza Shehbaz from the office. In compliance with the unofficial final count from the Sunday's polls, the PTI won the 15 seats while the PMLN managed to clinch the victory in only 4. An independent candidate grabbed one. The PMLN was gracious in defeat, with party Vice President Mariam Nawaz saying the party should accept the result wholeheartedly and bow before the people's choice. Meanwhile, following the PTI's landslide victory in the hotly contested Punjab by polls on Sunday, party chairman Imran Khan said the only way forward was free and fair elections. India's parliament began voting Monday for a new president with a female politician from the country's marginalized tribal community and the favorite for the post. Draupadi Murmu from the Santhal tribe has been nominated by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party for the largely ceremonial position. If elected, she would be the Indian's first tribal president, the second female president. Murmu, 64, began her career as a school teacher in the eastern state of the Odisha before going into the politics. She has held the ministerial positions in the state government and been governor of the neighboring state of the Jharkhand. Her main opponent for the presidency is a veteran politician Yashan Sinha, an ex-BJP member, the former finance and external affairs minister who has been backed up by the opposition parties, including the Congress. Nearly 4,800 elected MPs and MLAs vote on Monday to elect the 15th President of India. NDA candidate Draupadi Murmu having a clear edge over the opposition's Yashan Sinha, as over the 60% votes are expected to cast for the favor. The counting of the votes will take place at the Parliament House on July 21st, and the next president will take oath on July 25. Sri Lanka's acting president Ranil Wickremesinghe has declared a state of emergency as his administration seeks to quell the social unrest and tackle an economic crisis. Sri Lanka's beleaguered leaders have imposed a state of the emergency several times since April, while the public protest took hold against the government handling of a deepening economic and the president's shortage of the essentials. Is expedient so to do in the interest of the public security, the protection of the public order, and the maintenance of the suppliers and services essential to the life of the community. And the notification is started. Before ending, we go through the SATV News headlines again. EC has no objection if the elections are held under the new system in agreement between BNP and Army League. 2 hours area-based load shedding across the country from Tuesday. Shopping malls market to be closed by 8 p.m. Prime Minister is set to distribute 26,229 more houses to homeless families across the country on Thursday. You are up to date with our top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.